Indian physiography is divided into 5 parts. The first one is Himalayas, the second one is North Indian Plain, the third one is Peninsular Plateau, and the fourth one is coastal lands, and the fifth one is islands. And this first physiography, Himalayan, can be further divided into Trans Himalayas, next is Greater Himalayas, Middle Himalayas, Shivaliks, as well as Purvanchal in the northeast part of the India. But so discussing the next part is the North Indian Plain. So this covers the North Indian Plain. So this North Indian Plain can be further divided into the Rajasthan Plain. So this desert part. Next is your Rohilkhand Plain, and the third one is Plain of Ganga. Next is Plain of Brahmaputra. So this Aravalli range divides Rajasthan into 2 parts, west side as well as on the east side. The western side is of arid or semi-arid, which forms the desert, Great Indian Desert, but whereas it is of greener part on the eastern side, on Udaipur as well as in Jaipur. On the foothills of the Himalayas, we can see boulder deposition. Boulder means big rocks. So this is because of the erosional activity of the rivers. Okay, so the rivers originating from Himalaya erode the Himalaya, so they deposit the boulders. So that's why the rivers on the foothills are not seen. But further land is called as terrain land. The soil grain size is much smaller, so it is called as terrain. So further we can see Khadar and Bangar soils. So next we see the plain of Ganga. So this is the plain of Ganga and the plain of Brahmaputra. So these are all parts of the North Indian Plain. This North Indian Plain is newly formed, but whereas this Peninsular Plateau is old one, which formed earlier. The coast present on the western part of the India is very steep, but whereas the coastal area on the eastern part is gentle. That's why we can see natural ports on the eastern part of the India. So in total we are having 247 islands. Next, discussing about the plateau. Plateau means which is an elevated flat structure, so that can be called as a plateau. So first we have the Malwa Plateau. So this Malwa Plateau is located between the Aravalli Range and Vindhyan Range, and this plateau will be rich in the mineral sources. Next we have is the Bhagal Plateau. Okay, so this Bhagal Plateau divides the 2 river basin. First one is the Son and the second one is the Mahanadi. This acts as, so it divides the 2 river basins, Son as well as Mahanadi. Satpura range is consisting of Gawaligar Hills, Mahadev Hills as well as Michael Range. So all 3 constitutes to Satpura range. Next we have the Balghat range and Harishchandra range. So these are the interior part of the Western Ghat. So this Western Ghat receives rain from the southwest monsoons, That's why this is the source of many rivers. So the Eastern Ghat is not continuous as in case of the Western Ghat. So the hilly structure can be seen from the Mahanadi river to the Godavari river. Further below, further southwards, it is not continuous. So it is called as Nallamala Hill on Telangana, Palakonda in Andhra Pradesh, Javadi Hills in Tamil Nadu, Shivara Hills in Tamil Nadu, and the Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat joined together in the Nilgiri Hills. So we can see here Anaimudi is the peak in the South India, 2695 meters height.